calling out to hungry hearts everywhere through endless time. You who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this body mind, calling out to hungry spirits everywhere through endless time, calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. Gather round and share this meal, your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine. Calling out to hungry hearts everywhere through endless time. You who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this heart of mine, calling out to hungry spirits everywhere through endless time, calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. Gather round and share this meal, your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine. Shri Guru Charan Saroja Raja Janam Kar Sudhari Bharano Raghubhar Bimala Jasu Chodayak Palachari Buddhihin Tanu Janke Sumiram Pavana Kumar Siyaram Balabuddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kalesa Vikara Syavara Ramachandra Padaje Sharana Jaya Hanuman Gyana Guna Saga Jaya Kabir Sati Loka Puja Ramaduta Turta Maladam Anjani Put Pavana Sutana Mahavira Bikramam Bajrangi Umatnevar Sumati Kesan Kanchanavaran Virat Sudesa Kanana Kundala Kanchita Kes Hatha Pachurur Tvacha Virat Kande Muja Jane Usali Shankara Suvana Kesari Nanda Teja Pratap Mahajagavan Vidyavan Gurniyati Chatu Ramakaja Karibe Koatu Prabhucharitra Sunibe Korasi Ramalakhan Sita Manavasi Sukshma Rupa Darasiya Hindaka Rupa Darilanka Chara Hima Rupa Dari Asura Sahari Ramachandra Kekaja Sohari Aya Sanjivana Lakanani Ay Hira Gubira Shiravai Raghupati Kinhi Bahut Barai Tuma Mama Priya Ratai Samavai Sahasrabadan Tumaro Jasagao Asakar Shri Pati Kanta Laga Sanakadika Brahma Vimurisa Bharata Sharada Sahita Ahisa Kama Kubera Digapala Jahante Kabhi Kobi Dakai Sake Kahante Tuma Upakar Sugriva Inkina Rama Melaya Raja Padadina Prabhu Mudrika Mele Mukamai Chaladilange Gaya Charajunai Durgama Kaja Jagata Keche Sugama Anangara Tumarete Rama Duare Tumarakovar Potana Agya Binu Peza Sab Sukala Hai Tumhari Sharan Tumara Chakkahu Kodan Apan Teja Samaro Ape Ino Lokaha Katen Kampe Uttata Sashana Katanahi Ave Mahavir Jabalama Sunar Nasero Gare Sapatir Chapata Nirantaraham Matagir Sankatate Anuman Churave Anakrama Bachana Dana Jolave Sabha Pararama Tapasviraja Dinake Kaja Sakala Tumasaja Ora Manoratha Joko Elave Sove Amit Jivana Palapa Charo Yuga Pradata Patumar He Pradasiddhi Jagata Vijaya Sadhu Santa Ke Tumarakovare Asurane Kandana Rama Dulare Ashta Siddhi No Nidhi Kedat Asavaladina Janki Mata Rama Rasayana Tumare Pas Sadaraho Raghupati Kedas Tumare Bhajana Rama Ko Bhave Janama Janama Ke Dukha Bisarave Antakala Raghuvar Pura Jai Jahan Janma Hare Bhakta Kahai Or Devata Chaitanya Dare If we know anything about a path at all, it's only because of the great beings that have gone before us. Out of their love, out of their kindness, they left some footprints for us to follow. So, in the same way that they wish for us, in the same way that they wish for us, we wish that all beings everywhere, all of us, be safe, be happy, that all of us have good health and enough to eat. And may we all live in peace and at ease of heart, with whatever comes to us in life. Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino
So I heard you talk about your Indian father saying that relationships are business, but love is always here.
Yeah.
And also that desires are okay, but we shouldn't be fooled into thinking that they'll bring us happiness.
Well,
ultimate
we've already
happiness.
been fooled. We have to unfool ourselves. Let's put it that way.
So with respect to human love and affection, this idea is so hard for me to conceive of. So I wonder if you can say a little bit more. Once we do realize our true nature of infinite love, do we really then no longer have need for human affection?
Need is the key word there. No, you don't. But you have love for everyone and everything. And you also understand to honor the karmic relationships that you have perfectly. There's no resistance. There's no renunciation. You don't have to kick them out of the house. You love them. You love everybody equally, but you also don't mean you don't have to go around screwing everybody.
No, but you have no need to receive their love.
You have love. You've become love. You don't need them to give you something that they don't even have yet necessarily. They don't know who they are. You know who you are. And so when you're actually allowing them to be themselves with no need on your part. You let them be themselves. What they give, what they don't give, it's okay. Nothing is lost. Everything is gained. You're not missing anything.
So you don't have a feeling of emptiness.
No,
if
you're
you don't-
completely full.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Yeah, no, this is good. First of all, there's no such thing as emptiness. And emptiness doesn't mean empty, anyhow. It's complicated. But it's also very simple. But anyhow, no, your heart is full, and you're related to everyone, and everyone is inside of your own heart, and you don't need anybody to make you happy. So if somebody withholds affection from you, it doesn't hurt you. But you're not cold. You're not like turned off. You allow them to be that way. That's the way they are. And you'll find that like in a relationship with a human being, if you can allow that person to be who they already are, I mean, instead of trying to twist them into who you need them to be, they'll be happy and you'll be happy. But if there's, the problem is that we fall in love with our version of that person. Today, she's the most beautiful being in the world. Tomorrow, what happened? That's not who I saw yesterday. And then that's where the relationship starts. Then you're trying to make that person into what you need. And it's impossible. You can never do that. They're already who they are. And but if you need them to be something for you, it puts pressure, and it's a losing game. But that doesn't mean that there can't be real friendship with a capital F, and kindness and caring for another person. And you can still let them be an asshole. And you don't have to try to change them. And usually you can find that if you really allow somebody to really be who they are and not try to make them into your version of who you want them to be, it gets very open because there's no manipulation going on. Anybody who feels manipulation, they shut down and they go the other way. So, and that's, that's why relationships are very difficult, because two people's projections bouncing off of each other, and then, it's difficult. So, but once again, if we need that person to be who we need them to be, how could that ever be? But if we love someone, then we let them be who they are. And we love them as they are. And when they do stuff we don't like, it doesn't mean we don't have to shut down and turn them off. That's our work. But when you have that love, you're in love all the time.
That's the thing. Are we loving someone, or are we just loving?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi.
Good evening. I wanted your opinion to know.
Uh-oh.
Is it possible to chant for world peace?
For?
World peace.
Sure.
Or is it only possible to chant to change ourselves?
No, you can chant for everything. And if you can find peace, then there'll be more peace in the world, too. But the world is also, just like in a relationship, if you can love the world as it is, then there's a lot more love in the world. But if you're trying to change it, you can get very disappointed, because there's 40 billion people who don't want to change. And we're one person. And we can't even change ourselves. So how can we change anybody else? But yes, absolutely, we after every chant, every kirtan, we offer that, may all beings be happy, maybe they're safe, maybe they're, healthy and have enough to eat and live in peace. Of course, that's our wish. That's our aspiration. Because they say that there's only one of us in the whole universe. We're just cells of one body. Would you be nasty to your foot? I hate your foot. No. Why would you be nasty to another person? Why? Because we're attached to our thoughts, our emotions, our bodies. I think this body is me, and if anybody does anything to this body, that would be bad. So I have to protect myself, and then on from there. And then I need an army, and then I need to feed that army, so I have to kill all kinds of things to feed the army. Oh, it's endless. But that doesn't mean I don't wish the world well, and I can't, offer my aspiration that there should be peace, and we want peace. But there's also, we have to find that peace inside first. That's where you find it. You don't find it out there. But that doesn't mean you can't wish for it to be and pray for it and aspire that there, for sure. But if it doesn't show up, in 2 minutes, don't feel bad. Or at least don't feel worse.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
My name is Adam.
Hello, Adam. Where's Eve?
Right over there.
Got any apples?
It's very nice to be here with you today.
Thank you.
Okay. So, as life marches on, the notion of being here for a particular purpose, for life to be meaningful, becomes more prevalent with each day. And
Sorry to hear that.
okay, so I know where this is going. And I want to ask you, based on your experience and your teachings, is the notion that each of us has a particular purpose for our time here on earth, is that a spurious desire and an illusion helped to mask something greater and deeper that we don't know how to go after or understand?
Well, as far as the big picture is concerned, that's above my pay grade. And as far as the little picture is concerned, like this is what I do. Like, I can't do other things. I chant, and by the way, I chant for a very good reason too. My purpose, to chant, I chant to save my miserable ass. Period. Your asses are your problem. And so, but your asses came here for something, and I'm here with my ass, so something's happening. But I don't sit around thinking about it. Purpose in life is to be at ease in your own heart, and that whatever you do, you can be at ease, and you can treat people well and treat yourself well, and you can do what you can to make the world a good place to be in, which is difficult, to say the least. But still, we have to aspire to that. But we also have to be realistic. Whereas, you can't make somebody love you, and we can't create peace immediately in the whole world. We have to start in our own hearts and the people we're involved with, et cetera, et cetera. So as far as purpose, that's the best I can do. And really, that's the purpose, to be the best person you can be. I would say that's everybody's purpose. Because that would certainly change a lot of things if everybody was their best version of themselves. Whatever that means, that would be great. How's that for a wimpy answer?
Well, I think more than an answer, getting pointed in the right direction is what I'm interested in. So thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Brazil?
Norwich City.
What's that? Oh,
Norwich City. It's
Delhi. Oh, Lotus, I see.
not as good as Brazil.
No, not as good at all. Same colors, same basic colors.
I don't have a question. I just have a comment.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I think your guru, Maharaji,
Hmm?
is really proud of the person that you are today. And that's all I wanted to say. So thank you for everything that you do for everybody else.
Thank you. Thank you. Took me a long time to say thank you. People would say, oh, you thank you so thank you. But, you know, where's that guy who was asking about whatever, you know, so. No, not that guy. He's useless. You know. When you're out, when you move, when the curtain parts and you see all the actors on the stage in a different way, and you see yourself in a different way, there's nothing but love everywhere. Everywhere. And peace, and presence, and being, and kindness. And you're out of your own way. You're out of your own way. Oh, it's such a relief. Be out of your own. Because all we do is spend our whole lives tripping ourselves up, giving ourselves a hard time, stopping ourselves from opening, finding reasons to hate other people and judge other people and put other people down and ourselves. And finally, it's not there. And the only thing left is your own true being. And it's such a relief. And it's really, you experience it and you know it's true. And nobody has to tell you. Nobody can tell you. And every one of us is going to have that because we already have it. And it's such a relief to be out of your own way. And that I thought about that because, you know, people would say, oh, thank you. It was so hard for me to say, oh, you're welcome. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, okay. So that finally goes away. And you say, okay, hi, thanks, okay. Next, you know. So it's 4:30. We have another half an hour or so. Should we sing? Yeah, what's the matter? You don't want to talk anymore? You see? It didn't go anywhere. Hmm? Oh, you have a question?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It's okay. Easy. No rush. It's okay.
Okay. Can you describe to me what it means to make peace with your shadow and how to do it? And if you use the word darkness, can you explain what that is?
Well, the shadows essentially what push you around from behind. So those are the things that why you like one thing and don't like another thing, right? Why you like one person and don't like another person. Why you like vanilla ice cream instead of chocolate ice cream. It's all your likes and dislikes, all your wants and not wants, all your judgmental issues. And that's part of it. And also, you could say the shadow are all those stories that you tell yourself about yourself that you're not aware of. All the reasons you don't feel love. right now, all the time, and why you feel frustrated and unable to get what you want out of life, because those programs are running in the back, pushing us around. So you could say that's the shadow. Those are the shadows. And darkness is just what we don't see. It's not bad, it's just we don't see it. So we don't see the love that lives in everyone because we don't see it in ourselves. And we keep needing something outside to push the button and make us feel okay. And there's only so many buttons. And then for a while, the fingers get tired. You can't push any more buttons. So then what? That's we have to find our own button inside. And it's there. But the whole idea that we don't believe that even, that's a program. And that's a big program that Western culture, you know, when you're born, you live and you die. And there's no reason, there's nothing out of life except how much money you get and how much pleasure and how much pain you can avoid. Those are programs. Those are belief systems that aren't true, but we believe them. And then it's a shadow because we don't see that we believe them. And yet, everything we do out there is because we're being pushed around by our own beliefs. So how do you get rid of that? Well, it's not easy. If you don't see it, you can't let it go. So you do whatever comes to you to do to try to find a way through that. Counseling, therapy, anything that's going to work, chanting. Usually when you're really depressed, not you, but when one is really in the grip of a heavy emotion, you know, you can forget about meditating. You know, no matter how many asanas you do, you just get cramps. You know, it doesn't help. So you sometimes have to, you know, talk about things to somebody and release some of that energy. And sometimes you just have to ride it out. Sometimes medications help. I took medications for a while. And they didn't have any good ones in those days. Now they're a little better. And now there's microdosing and stuff like that, which apparently can be very helpful at times. And so the whole spiritual path, as far as I'm concerned, is learning how to trust yourself and trust your own heart. Because we each have to live our own lives. Nobody can tell us how to do that. And if somebody does tell us something and it feels right, who are you trusting, them or yourself? You're trusting your own feelings about it. Somebody tells you something and it doesn't feel right, you should trust that feeling. But what happens is, because we're so needy and we're so, we feel we're so hard on ourselves, we take somebody else's word for something that we shouldn't do that. That's not the best thing to do. And that's why there are people out there, there's so many fake beings. And we're willing to give ourselves away for anybody who's going to pat us on the head and call us a little boy or a good little boy and girl. And because of that, people can do big business and make a lot of money off of us. And that all comes out of our lack of self-worth. I was in a cult for years, for 3 or 4 years, after Maharaji. That's how fucked up I am. So I got nothing, I'm not judging anybody, you know, I'm telling you. And then a cult meant that I was willing to accept this person's version of things over my own. What was right and wrong over my own. Do this, don't do that, okay. And we used to go out, on the weekends we would go somewhere, and we used to pass within 5 minutes of my mother's house on the way out there. And she was lying on the floor of the living room with sciatica. She couldn't barely get up. She couldn't get up the stairs herself. I passed by that house 30, 40 times and never went to see her because that person didn't think that was good for me. So, right? Once an asshole, always an asshole, I told you. So, but it's okay. But you live and you learn, and we do have to learn how to trust ourselves. That's really the big thing. That's why we do practice, to uncover that place where we know. Because everyone knows. And we know what we want. We just don't know how to get it. We have bad aim. That's the only problem. Westerners, we have bad aim. We want this, but we grab this. How'd that happen? So you have to get good aim, and then that's good. But you get good aim by having bad aim for a long time. Okay. Anybody? Yeah, come.
You've kind of answered it just by your last answer, but asking about, wondering about, do we need teachers to guide us? We can kind of get in there and meditate and do our thing, but to show us, how we can, where we're missing, what we're not seeing, and where can we find, do we go inside and wait for the teacher to arrive, or write letters to someone?
Right. The guru question. Yeah.
And I want to say, I've followed a couple of good ones,
Yeah.
but that turned out to be,
Assholes.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They're out there. 90 out of 100. It's
And so
very hard.
Do you need a teacher?
Absolutely.
Do you need a guide?
Yeah, sure. But you already have one. That's your own heart. As far as teachers teach techniques. Gurus is a whole other ballgame. A guru is a being who knows there's only one in the whole universe, and that we're all part of that. A guru doesn't need anything, he doesn't need you. Maharaj used to say, "Go away" is my mantra. In Hindi, Jao. Jao is my mantra. In fact, one time one of his old devotees brought a friend of his to the temple. And Maharaji looks at the guy and said, "Why did you come here? Your guru's place is so good. There's kirtan, bhajans, they have everything going on. Here it's just ow, cow, jow. Come, eat, go." And yet, I wouldn't give that come, eat, go up for anything. The whole universe was in that. Because he didn't want anything. He didn't need you. He didn't need you to be there. The ones that got there were probably the ones that weren't going to make it. For instance, me, So everybody has guru. Guru is your own true nature. They say it over and over. Guru, God, and capital S self are not different. But because we think we are who we think we are, we don't understand that. We want to find somebody out there who's going to do it for us. Good luck. You can't find a guru. If your guru happens to inhabit a body at some time, that body may come into contact with your body if that's the best thing for you. Because a real guru only has one motivation: compassion for us. That's all. And that's almost impossible for us to believe, that there could be anybody who doesn't want something for us. They don't even want us to be happy because they know our true nature. They know who we are. So you can't find a guru, you can't run around looking for a guru like I did. After Maharaji died, I was running through the jungles looking for him because I knew he didn't go anywhere. I almost died. Imagine running through the jungles of India. It's 125 degrees in the middle of the summer. And I would see somebody in a cave. I say, I'm looking for my guru. The guy would look at me like, you're crazy. He said, your guru's looking out of your eyes right now. Get out of here. You know. So, if you really want to get on with your work, then you recognize and you bow to your life as your teacher, as teaching. It's not hard to see what you like and what you don't like. It's not hard for us to see what kind of assholes we are most of the time. And we should pay attention to that. Because what we have to do is we have to purify, we have to clean the mirror of our heart. Like it says in the Hanuman Chalisa. The first line is, I take the pollen like dust from the feet of the Guru, which is pure love, pure being, pure consciousness, to clean the mirror of my heart. Why mirror of my heart? Because I am looking into a mirror right now. Do I know who you are? I don't know who you are. But if I look at you, I get a whole story. Oh, that one's got the hair. That one looks like glasses. Oh, yeah. This one, dressed like that, looks like a business person. Okay. I have a storyline for everybody out there. I don't know who the fuck you are, but I've got a story. I'm playing your part in my movie. So that's why it's a mirror. And as the dust on the mirror is cleaned off, what you start to see, eventually, you see the love everywhere. And the ups and the downs, the ins and outs, the likes and the don't likes, they get dissolved into that love. And so when you look in, and then when you look in a regular mirror, what do you see? Say it's got covered with dust. You just see the dust, right? You don't see your face. So you wipe off a little dust and then you see a little bit of your face. Oh, and you wipe up some more dust. Finally, you see your full face. So that's the way it is with our lives. We live in our own version of reality. We have our likes, and the third patriarch of Zen said, third Chinese patriarch said, the great way is not difficult for those with no preferences. So that disqualifies everybody, right? Right away. Okay, next. Preferences. We all have preferences, so we're fucked. So that's the deal. We do these practices to clean the mirror of our hearts so that all those stories, all those programs that make us like one thing and dislike another thing and cling to one thing and push another thing away, which cause us suffering, so those programs get dissolved. And so the Guru is the love that lives within us. We're here. That proves it. And tomorrow, if you ask yourself where you are, you'll be here. And 10 years from now, if you ask yourself where you're here, where are you? You'll be here. This here is presence. But because our awareness is so dull, we don't go deep enough into this moment, which expands in all directions and is only love. And outside of this presence, there's nothing. And this presence holds everything within it as love, in love. And Guru is, whether one meets a body that the Guru happens to be inhabiting temporarily or not, it depends on whether you need it or not whether you want it or not. What we want has nothing to do with it. The Guru knows what you need, and we're getting that all the time. But we don't want to pay attention. We want it the way we want it, you know. What's that? There's some song. Reminds me of some song.
If I could, there was one other thing, because so much of this is about the head, listening and just thinking through this and trying to get it right, you know, not get it wrong. But this is more of an observation. A piece that I love. I mean, I love your music. I love a lot of chanting. But one of the things I loved is that the space right after that we finished.
Yeah.
And that's that. That to me, that's
Mm-hmm.
There's that.
Well, that's the place. That's the silence, and we became aware of that silence by doing the practice together. The silence is always here, but we're not aware of it. We're not paying attention. We're too busy. So we come together. We're sitting here on these hard chairs and singing and trying to pay attention, and the effort we put in and the power of the mantra and the blessings of the Guru generate that awareness, and then we can feel it. It's always here, but we're not paying attention. Our consciousness habitually is running out through the senses all the time to the objects. But that doesn't mean it's not true. So taking the time to learn how to be good to ourselves and take and nurture ourselves is very important, but it's not so easy. But that's what we're doing by coming to these weird events.
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
You mentioned at the beginning, when talking about spiritual.
You were listening to me?
When you were talking about spiritual practice, you said to not try too hard, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so ironic, right? Because I feel like everything in this life, in this material world, it's like they tell you you have to have drive and you have to,
Mm-hmm.
really lean to get things done. And so I don't know how to go towards spiritual practice without
Mm-hmm.
that drive, because you take that drive away and it's like, I don't know how to function without it.
The implication is that you think you're going to get something from the practice. And actually, it's the opposite. You're going to uncover what's already here. But you keep thinking something's out there that you have to get. And so, if it's out there and you have to get it, yeah, you have to try. But if you already have it, and all you have to do is kind of relax into it, then what are you going to do? What does that have to do with getting at something out there? But trying to relax into it means becoming aware of the thought, oh, okay, I come back. Every time you come back, they've proven that the neural pathways in the brain change. Every time you come back. So don't go so far away when the rest of the day. Yeah, hi.
I was wondering, did Maharaji ever say anything about Punchmuki Hanaman?
Punchmuki Hanaman. Not that I know of. Punchmuki means 5-faced. You've heard of Tantra. There's this thing called Tantra, which is usually very intense practices, very powerful practices that you can do in certain situations to overcome stuff that needs to be overcome. And so there's one form of Hanuman that has 5 faces, which are five different avatars, 5 different forms of God. Okay, I know all 5. So, and there's mantras to that. But the thing about those kind of practices is that love is better. Love's not going to hurt you much. Those practices can be dangerous because they generate a lot of energy and heat, and unless you know what you're doing, you can fry yourself. You know, you can create disease in your body. You can other things like that. So, like I was given that mantra for the Punchmuki Hanaman by a yogi who was 163 years old. And he looked at us one day and said, huh? "You're from America? Ah, you remember when Lincoln was shot?" He said, "Oh, no, you wouldn't remember. We read about it in the papers in India." And everybody knows him. He was 163. Actually, he was the younger guru brother of another guy who was 250 years old that lived in the same county called Deoraha, right? It would be like Santa Monica Baba, who lived on the corner of, like on the 3rd Street Promenade for like 250 years. And everybody knew him all that time. He was your grandfather's 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 guru. And everybody knew him. And there was no doubt about it. That's what it's like in India. So this Baba, but he didn't give me the whole mantra. He didn't tell me he didn't give me the whole mantra, but he didn't. So I couldn't hurt myself. All right, But it's nice. Punchmuki Hanaman is very beautiful. 5 faces. You spend less time in negative, heavy states of mind. It happens. And you don't notice until later. Like, wait a minute. I used to be fucked up all the time. Now it's just on Thursdays and Fridays. And like for me, I'm a moper. I was born a moper. Wasn't that a Steppenwolf song? Born a moper. Oh, born something else. Born to be a moper. So I hardly mope around at all anymore. It's crazy. I miss it. Really, wasn't it? You remember how you used to just mope around the house? Ah, fuck this shit. Sometimes I do it just for fun. It's so good.
That's great.
But you don't notice. You don't notice. You think you're not happy until you realize you're not unhappy. And then you realize you're not even thinking about it, and that's really good. Because thinking never helped anything.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, is there a rule? Because we have to sing a Hanuman Chalisa. I mean, we just have to. 5:30. Okay, we have time to sing one Hanuman Chalisa, okay? How many of you know the words? Okay, including me, that's 2. So, just let's see. Let's think of it this way. Let's do this Chalisa. Okay, this is part of the reason we suffer. Part of the reasons that we're unhappy is because. Okay, I'll wait. I would say the main reason that we have unhappiness in our lives is that we feel separate from other people and other beings and each other. And we don't realize that we're all interconnected. And I became very close friends with a great Zen master named Bernie Glassman, a Zen master from Brooklyn. And one of his biggest, deepest experiences he had, as usual, not on the mat, but in the back of a car on the way to work, where he experienced the interconnectedness of all of us. I mean, everything about our lives is dependent on everybody else on the planet. Did I make this shirt? Did I make the harmonium? Did I cut my hair? Everything we have is made by other people and dependent on other people cooperating on one level. And So Bernie had this very deep experience of the interconnectedness of all beings, not just here on earth, but in other planes of consciousness. And so he sent me 8 lines from a prayer from the Japanese tradition, Buddhist tradition, called the Gates of Sweet Nectar. And at the bottom of it, he said, "Can you do something with this?" So I wrote back, "Like what?" So he said, "Well, you know, we Buddhists are not very good with melody." You know, like that. Maybe you could come up with a nice melody for this, and then we could sing it at the Zen Peacemakers meeting, because he started this group. So anyhow, so long story short, a melody came, and we want to offer our hearts. We want to be open, but we don't know how, and we're scared. And that's called klesha, obstructions in the heart, in the consciousness, in the body. And who's the remover of obstructions? Is Hanuman. So we use that melody for this prayer and also for the Hanuman Chalisa.